Hello, my name is Rosalind and this is an EFT tap-along video. It will allow you to use emotional freedom techniques very simply and also to address a specific aspect of recovering emotionally after a miscarriage. The topic of this particular video is I had a miscarriage a while ago and I haven't got over it. So before we go any further, we've reached the part which you'll find in all of my videos where I say that you must take full responsibility for your own well-being as we tap. The reason for this is that tapping is a little bit like peeling the layers off an onion and stuff can come up. So if you have been suppressing emotions, or if you've been under the care of a doctor, or you've been seeing a therapist, or you suspect that maybe you should, then you might like to consult someone before you go on with this. Or at least make sure that you have someone with you to support you as you tap. And it's very rare that this happens, and if, as we go through, strong emotions come up, the chances are that they can begin to ease as we tap. Okay? Good. So, before we actually start tapping, I just wanted to say a little bit about the topic of this particular video, which is I had a miscarriage a while ago and I haven't got over it. Because there's some information which I think you might find it interesting to know if you don't already. And many of my clients find that knowing this makes a difference to how they feel. There has been research carried out at Drexel University in Philadelphia into the emotional, how it feels emotionally after having a miscarriage and how best to recover. And the research shows that most women don't feel back to normal until 4 months after their miscarriage. And I think that's probably a lot longer than most people would realise. And the research shows that after a miscarriage there are a number of stages that most women go through. It is actually a grieving process and grieving takes time. And the first stage is straight after a miscarriage. Initially is one of shock, and it takes some time to get through that because it can be a very upsetting and distressing process. And then after the initial phase of shock, most women go through a stage where they are then adjusting from being pregnant to no longer being pregnant. And this time of adjustment, during that time, the strong feelings, the feelings of grief and sadness and upset can actually intensify and reach a peak at about 4 to 6 weeks after the miscarriage. This is what the research discovered. And then after it reaches this intensity, then it begins to diminish. And typically, after about 4 months, between 4 to 6 months, most women begin to feel back to normal again, although not all of them do. So I don't know where you are in that process. I'm not sure how long ago it was that you had your miscarriage, but the chances are, if you are within that first 4 to 6 months, it's completely normal if you don't feel back to normal yet. And I think most people don't have any idea of that, and people who haven't had a miscarriage might find that hard to believe. But if you don't feel back to normal again yet, you're completely normal, and it will get better. And so now what I'd like to do with you is to actually do some tapping on all of this to see if we can ease some of these feelings and these emotions. So in a moment what I'm going to ask you to do is to copy me and to tap where I tap, and also to repeat what I say. And I just want to say before we go any further, don't worry if the words which I say don't match exactly how you're feeling right now. It will be completely fine to say them anyway, and you'll get all of the beneficial impact of tapping. But if you would like to adjust them so that they reflect exactly how you're feeling now, please feel free to do that. So don't feel you have to say what I'm saying. You're very welcome to change the words if you want to. So for example, I might say, I feel sad, but you might want to say, I feel very sad, or it might be, I feel numb, or something else. So as I say, do please feel free to change the words if you want to. You absolutely don't have to. It will be perfectly fine if you just say everything I say. That will work just as well. Feel free to do whichever it is you'd like to do. Okay, so let's begin tapping then. So if you copy me and repeat what I say and tap where I tap. Even though I've had a miscarriage, I'm okay. Even if I don't feel okay. Even though I've had a miscarriage and I don't feel back to normal, I'm okay. And I know I'm trying my best, even if that doesn't feel good enough. Even though I've had a miscarriage and I don't feel back to normal, I'm okay, even if it doesn't feel okay. And I know I'm doing my best. Okay, let's tap round. I've had a miscarriage. I don't feel back to normal. I've had a miscarriage. I haven't got over it yet. I've had a miscarriage. I don't feel like myself at all. I've had a miscarriage. I haven't got over it yet. I've had a miscarriage. Maybe I'm worrying I won't get over it. I've had a miscarriage. And it's been really horrible. And I don't feel over it yet. And I don't feel normal. And this is an upsetting process. And I will come through it. Okay, let's pause and take a deep breath. And let's continue to tap. Even though I may have lots of strong feelings and emotions, and I don't feel like myself, I'm okay, even if I don't feel okay. Even though I have lots of feelings and emotions, and I don't feel as if I've got over it, I'm doing my best, even if that doesn't feel good enough. Even though I have these strong feelings and emotions, and I don't feel back to normal, I am okay, even though this doesn't feel okay. And I'm doing my best. I have these feelings and these emotions. I don't feel over this. All of these feelings. Sometimes they're really strong. All of these feelings and emotions. I don't feel over this yet. Maybe I'm wondering if I ever will. All of these feelings and emotions. This has been an upsetting experience. I don't feel like myself at all. All of these feelings and emotions. Sometimes it's hard to cope with them. All of these feelings and emotions. I may be wondering if they're ever going to go. All of these feelings and emotions. Sometimes this is all hard to cope with, and I don't feel back to normal yet. Okay, let's pause and take another deep breath. Even though there may be times when this feels as bad as ever, I'm okay, even if I don't feel okay. even though sometimes I might feel better and then sometimes I don't, and it seems to be going on a long time. I am okay. And this is part of a grieving process. And I may not have realised it takes as long as it does. And I'm okay. Even though sometimes I don't feel any better. Maybe it feels worse. And I'm wondering if this is ever going to pass. I choose to remember that this is a grieving process, and it takes time, and this is normal, and I'm okay, and I'm doing my best. This is a grieving process. It takes time. Most women don't feel back to normal until 4 to 6 months. If I'm not back to normal yet, that's completely normal. And I may not like this. And this might be a surprise. But it might be reassuring to know that there's nothing wrong with me if I don't feel back to normal yet. This is completely typical. It's normal not to get over it straight away. I might have expected I could get over it quickly. But the research shows that's not what it's like. Even if I would like it to be like that. It takes time to get over a miscarriage. And it's completely normal for it to take time. And that's part of the grieving process. Okay, let's pause and take another deep breath. Even though I may have been thinking I should be over this by now, I'm okay. And I know I'm doing my best, even if that hasn't felt good enough. Even though I may have been thinking I should be over this by now. And maybe there are people around me who think that. The research shows that if I'm not over it yet, that's completely normal. And I'm okay. Even if I don't feel okay. Even though people may think I should be over this by now, I know I'm doing my best. And I've been doing my best all the way through this. And I am okay. Even if I don't feel it. I may think I should be over this by now. Other people may think I should be over this by now. It's completely normal not to be over this by now. Grieving takes time. And this is an intense grief. This could be an intense grief. It may have its intense moments. And those might take me by surprise. Sometimes I might feel as if I'm doing really well. And then sometimes it might catch me out again. And that's also part of the grieving process. And that's normal too. It's a process of adjustment. And I had had a lot of hopes and dreams. And I was thinking and planning. Even if I was trying to be cautious, I was hoping and planning. And now I'm coming to terms with all of that coming to nothing. And that is very painful. And that's what I'm grieving. I'm grieving for the baby that didn't go on to be born healthily. And that's a big deal. And it's okay if it's hit me hard. It's completely normal not to be over it yet. It's appropriate not to be over it yet. It doesn't matter what other people think. If they think I should be over it, chances are they're just ill-informed. And they don't really know what they're talking about. And if I think I should be over it by now, I'm open to the possibility that I could have compassion for what I've been going through and what I'm still going through. And I'm allowed to take the time I need to recover fully from this. And that's typically 4 to 6 months or more. Okay, let's pause and take another deep breath. Even though I may not be through this process yet, it doesn't mean it's going to be intense and awful all the time. It comes in waves. It's all part of a process of adjustment. And that's how grief operates. We realize things bit by bit. It's designed to happen over time. Because if it was all at once, it would be too much to cope with. And I'm okay, even if I don't feel okay. Even though sometimes I may feel better than others. That's completely normal when you're grieving. And it doesn't mean that it will always be awful, or that it's necessarily all gone. It comes in stages. It's a process of adjustment. I won't feel terrible forever. And it will diminish. And I am okay. Even if I don't feel okay right now. Even though I can feel all over the place sometimes. I choose to know that this is normal. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm grieving, and I will come through this, and time does heal. My emotions may go up and down. That's okay. It's okay to have these emotions. It's okay to have these feelings. I can take the time I need to feel like myself again. It is possible. I will feel better eventually. And if I'm struggling, it is possible for me to ask for support. I could talk to someone. Could talk to family or friends. Or I could work with a professional. And I am allowed to do that. I don't have to struggle on my own. I can seek support if I need it. Let's just pause and take another deep breath. Even though this takes time, I choose to be kind to myself and know that I will come through it eventually. And I'm okay, even if I don't feel okay now. And I'm doing my best. Even though this takes time, I choose to know I will come through it. This won't go on forever. And if I feel like I need support, I can ask for it. There are people who can help. And I'm doing my best. Even though this takes time, it's a process which does have an end, and I will get through it. And time does heal. And I'm okay. And I'm doing my best. This takes time. I will come through it. And if I feel as if I need help, I can ask for it. This is a process, and I will come through it. And there are ways I can ease it. And tapping is one of them. And it's possible I could use the tap-along videos. Which will allow me to address different components of recovering emotionally after my miscarriage. And I could use simple tapping. And just so that you know, there's information about that on my website. I could use simple tapping, which is a simplified version of this. And both of these could allow me to support myself anytime I need it, to help me to calm the emotions, to feel more peaceful in the moment. These are techniques which I can use. There are videos which I can watch. I can tap along. And these opportunities are available to support me in coming through this process if I want them. I don't have to. This takes time. And I choose to give myself that time. I'm allowed to take that time. It's okay to feel the way I do. I won't feel like this forever. And if I need help or support, then I can seek that out. I'm allowed to do that. Okay, let's pause and take another deep breath. Even though I'm going through all of this, I choose to give myself the time I need to recover from this fully. And I'm allowed to do that. And that's appropriate for me. And I'm okay. And I will be okay again. And I'm doing my best. Even though I've been through a lot, I choose to take the time I need to grieve, to recover, to take good care of myself. I'm allowed to do that, and I deserve it, and it's appropriate for me, and I'm okay, and I will feel okay again. Even though I've been through all of this, and I'm still going through it, that's okay. And I choose to give myself all the time I need and to be kind and gentle to myself as I go through this. And I'm okay. And I will feel okay again. I choose to take the time I need. I choose to be kind and gentle to myself. It's appropriate for me to look after myself. I choose to have compassion for what I've been through and what I'm still going through. I choose to take the time I need and to be kind and gentle to myself. I choose to take the time it takes, and I don't have to rush. And it's okay if people are trying to rush me. I don't have to let myself be rushed. I'm allowed to feel like this. And I'm allowed to take good care of myself. That's appropriate. It's the right thing for me to do. To make sure I have nice food to eat and lots of sleep and nice comforting things. Walks in the fresh air. Nice television programs. spending time with nice people or pets. It's appropriate to be kind and gentle to myself. And I choose to take that time and to know that I will come through this. This process will have an end. And I will feel like myself again. And I can get through this. And if I need support, I can ask for it. I choose to take good care of myself. And to take the time I need. And to know that I will get through this. And feel like myself again eventually. Okay, just take another deep breath. Well, thank you very much for tapping through all of this with me. I hope you feel a little bit better now than when you started. If you would like to watch other tap-along videos, or the videos I was talking about the simple tapping, a simplified version of tapping which you can do very simply without any words, pretty much wherever you are, anytime you want to ease your emotions, feel calmer and more peaceful. If you'd like to know more about the simple tapping, I have a video about that, and there's information just here. And for more tap-along videos generally, more information about what I have to offer, if you'd like to know about how I could support you individually, wherever you are in the world, please do go to my website. That's www.miscarriage-support.com. Okay, thank you very much indeed for your time, and take good care of yourself. Thank you.